Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. First, if you're just joining, welcome. Give you a little bit of a background. And oh, by the way, for those of you who are returning, welcome back. So anyway, yeah, let me just give you a little bit of background on what's been going on. I've been dealing with long COVID for the last 3 years. Became a type 1 diabetic, so on and so forth. So yeah, been dealing with a lot of pain and everything. I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, when all this happened, and then last year, a year ago almost, I came here to Minnesota just so I could go to the Mayo Clinic. Started seeing them in October, and I just recently got referred over to their integrative medicine department where I finally got the diagnosis of long COVID. So, and basically we started on a treatment plan, and I opted, yeah, there's medications, there's supplements, diet, psychoanalysis, physical therapy, all that sort of stuff. But anywho, I decided to try the supplements first, and because I've been feeling like with everything that has happened, basically with everything that has happened to me, it's all been in my chest area, a little bit in my throat, starting at my larynx, going all the way down basically to the upper portion of my abdomen, all the muscles and the airways. So, to the point being affected basically to the point where there have been times where I have had to, where it cramps up so horribly bad that I have to actually hold my breath and hope that the cramping subsides long enough so I can breathe again. Yeah, not fun. So, I know that this channel, I'm supposed to be talking about a lot of different things, but I've been focused on this part of my journey because it has just encompassed so much in my life, that I felt it was more important for me to talk about what I'm going through, partly for my own analysis, for my own record keeping, and as a way for me to be able to talk things out, get it out of my head, basically. And also to help have a record, because I was also dealing with doctors who either didn't believe me or didn't know what to do or whatever. So at least I would have something. And especially one doctor I had, actually it was the last pulmonologist I had seen out there in Vegas, didn't believe me. He was just like, he was insistent that I had asthma. And I'm like, and he was trying different inhalers. I'm like, dude, these things are not helping. If anything, they're making me worse. So, of course, I went off of them, took control of my body again. But unfortunately, in the process, was getting worse and have been getting worse. And yeah, with going to Mayo, we were able to rule out asthma by having an actual asthma test done. So, yeah, if you're going through something similar, especially if you've had long COVID, ask to have a pulmonary function test done with methacholine. It's called methacholine, okay? It's basically a gas that you breathe in, and it has to be administered in 5 stages. Yeah, that will tell if you have asthma or not, okay? So, yeah, like I said, we were able to, through that test, we were able to rule out asthma, finally. That was an exciting day. And then we could finally move forward. So, and that's basically when I got referred over to the integrative medicine. By the way, that's my cat. She's a little stinker butt. She's a beautiful girl. Don't get me wrong. Come here. You want to say hi? Say hi, Mom. There she is. There There she is. Isn't she beautiful? Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful girl, but she's a stinker. She's well loved, and she knows she is. So anyway, what I've been recording here lately is my progress with these supplements. Started them about 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. I started off with these ones called Pro. I think it's what? Pro Responsive Mediator, something like that. I don't remember. You'll have to go back and watch the other videos that I've done. And no, I'm not going to go where I keep everything stored and drag it back out. So anyway, I started off with those because they were supposed to help heal tissue, which I have been having happening. I've been very careful with those because they are fish-based, and I am allergic to fish. So yeah, I started off with one. I'm supposed to be taking 4 capsules twice a day, okay, of this specific milligrams. But unfortunately, like I said, I start off with one. Hi, how you doing? Come here. Such a big girl. So I started off with one, and then I did the one twice a day, and then increased to 2 twice a day, and then when I got to the 3 mark, forget it. Yeah, I had to go off of them. Take a little holiday, basically, and kind of start over. So I've been continuing with those, 1 twice a day. I've been thinking about maybe increasing that up to 2, but I'm almost out, so I'll wait until I get a new bottle. Another supplement I've been taking has been creatine. I tried taking full dosage first day. Oh my gosh, forget it. No, I can't do that. Huge headaches, massive headaches. I will forewarn you with that. So I scaled it back to a quarter once a day, and it was still a bit much. So I cut it back to an 1/8 twice a day. So I'm still getting at least a quarter, just breaking it up to twice a day. So, and it's been a lot better. Headaches haven't been as bad. I'm going to hold off on increasing that amount because I'm supposed to be taking 5 grams. And I'm doing powders. You know, I have a little kitchen scale, drug scale, jeweler scale, whatever you want to call it. And I'm then doing that in powder form so I can play with those dosages and everything. Plus, on top of it, trying to get those dosages in pill form, yeah, forget it. You might be able to. I'm not entirely too sure. Either that or gummies. I'm not entirely too sure if you can actually get that those dosages, but I just went ahead and did the powders because of these other ones I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So anyway, as far as the creatine is concerned, yeah, like I said, I'm doing that in 1/8. So it's basically 0.63 because my scale only goes out to 2 digits, 2 decimal points, excuse me. So yeah, I'm just doing, basically, it's supposed to be 0.625, so, okay, 0.63, thereabouts, 0.61, or excuse me, 0.63, so yeah, if I can do 0.62, 0.64, something like that, then, the way I look at it's close enough, so yeah, like I said, I'm doing that twice a day, and then there's 2 other supplements you have to take together, okay? The creatine is supposed to help with energy and also with brain fog. So that's one of the reasons why I'm taking that. And also the PRMs, or SPRMs, excuse me, pro-resolving mediators. I don't remember what the dosage is on those. And all this I found up on Prime. So yeah, the other 2 I'm also doing in powder form, primarily so that way I can play with the dosages. And you have to, according to the study that was done for those 2 supplements, basically it's supposed to, they help with the nitrous not nitric oxide levels in your body, and also as far as the one is concerned, that L-arginine. It could be pronounced either L-arginine or L-arginine, depending on where you're from or whatever. That one, I'm supposed to be taking 1.66 grams, okay? So that would be 1660 milligrams, all right? And breaking that down, I was doing a quarter, but yesterday I increased it up to half, okay? And that's twice a day that I'm supposed to be doing that, along with vitamin C. So it's, according to the study, it's 1.66 grams of L-arginine and 500 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, and the vitamin C is there to help minimize. It acts as an antioxidant to help minimize. Sorry, I deal with so much brain fog and confusion and so forth. My mind can have a tendency to just go. Yeah, it helps. Yeah, I deal with that all the time. It helps to minimize, with it being an antioxidant, helps clear out the body to help reduce the possibility of oxidation. Okay. So, and the reason why they did the L-arginine is for nitric oxide levels, is because with those researchers, they found that those of us who are dealing with my specific type of long COVID, there's issues basically with the blood vessels constricting. All right, so basically what the arginine does is it helps to dilate the blood vessels, okay, to help with blood flow. Okay, it also helps with rebuilding the muscles, and to basically help with getting oxygen back into them and so forth, and also helps with brain fog and fatigue. All right. So, like I said, with those two, I've been cutting them in half and doing them twice a day. All right. However, I was doing the nighttime one. I was doing it, taking it at the same time that I take my nighttime insulin. All right, because as a type 1 diabetic, we have to do two different types of insulins. There's the short-acting, which most people are familiar with, where you have to take it with every single meal, so that way you're minimizing that glucose rush, basically, okay? That happens when your food starts to digest right after eating. Then there's also a second insulin that's a long-lasting one, which you do once a day, and you typically take it at nighttime just before you go to bed. Lasts for about 20. You're supposed to take it once every 24 hours, but there's always overlap. It can last as long as about 36 hours, something like that. But that's the thing, you want it to be overlapping, okay? So that way you have that continuous. Basically what the long-lasting does, it helps take care of like those free radicals that are floating around in there and everything. So they both basically, both insulins work together. So anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because I've been taking my nighttime supplements at that same time, all right, which is great, because unfortunately with doing all these supplements, they're also bumping up my blood sugars quite a bit, okay? So at least in that way, with doing that, I'm getting that initial rush, and then bam, okay, and I've got the insulin going in and helping to take care of everything at the same time. So anywho, but then I got to thinking, the second dose, I've been taking it before I eat, and of course with the nighttime dose, I have to eat another meal, basically, to help chase the insulins that I just took, okay? Balances everything out. All right. But then when I go to eat, and I typically only eat twice a day anyway, and for my first meal though, I've been taking the supplements before I eat. So I'm not really getting in like a full 12 hours. And with going out to work, I've been finding myself crashing at around about that 12-hour mark, what it would be when I would have eaten my first meal of the day. Okay? So, with having that in mind, I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, at least with the L-arginine and the vitamin C combo, I'm supposed to be doing those full dosages twice a day, and I'm only getting half right now. Half twice a day, okay, which takes it up to one full dosage. So I got to thinking, I'm like, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Well, first of all, let me back up, I almost forgot. I decided I'm going to try something else first before I tried something else that I'm thinking. I decided to drink those supplements after I eat. So that way I'm getting closer to that time of day that would be that 12-hour mark that would take me to the next 12-hour mark. Get what I'm saying? Okay? So I'm not crashing at, say, 10 o'clock at night. I'm out working and I'm like, I start getting really fatigued and my chest is starting to flare up, and of course that adds into to the fatigue, and the brain fog that starts happening as well. But I'm going to try this for a little while, see how this goes. If need be, I can start increasing that dosage to, the dosages for that combination, bump it up to 3/4 until I can get up to the full amount that I'm supposed to be taking twice a day. Okay? Keep in the creatine a little bit on the low side for right now, because it does fuck me up pretty darn good. Not only that, it's also made me nauseous and so on and so forth. So, and causing me some other issues too. So, yeah, I'm just gonna play with the ones for right now and go from there. I mean, I could see about just cutting out the creatine, but I know that has been helping me too, so I'll hold off for right now before I decide to cut it out completely. And basically this is all up to me. Of course the doctors they're only consultative doctors. You're supposed to be working with a primary physician or whatever on the outside, but I haven't really trusted anybody on the outside, because they've all, oh, you having breathing difficulties? Here, have an inhaler. That's what I've been dealing with, and it doesn't help. So, if anything, it makes a situation worse. So, and I do need to find somebody, because I got to have some paperwork done up. But anyway, I'm just doing things on my own. I've always been somebody who's always taking care of my own health and so forth, but I was at a point with everything I was dealing with, I didn't know what else to do anymore. So that's why I turned to Mayo, and that's why I'm here. I'm looking forward to going back home. Believe me, this weather has just been okay, lots of fun. Especially trying to do deliveries out in it. So anywho, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. The other thing that I was thinking about doing, if it winds up being too much or something, or maybe if this doesn't work out with the 12-hour thing, even with increasing the dosage, another thing I was thinking about doing is try to split up the full amount that I'm supposed to be taking and doing that 3 times a day. splitting up those dosages to, okay, third in the morning, third in the afternoon, third in the evening sort of situation. Okay, that's kind of something. So in that way, if I do wind up crashing at around, you know, that 12-hour mark or what have you, then I have it to help get me through. Basically, is what it boils down to. So I'm not too sure. I'll see how things go with this that I'm doing right now, and then go from there. So yeah. As far as the weather here is concerned, yeah, we have had a really big cold snap, to say the least. I didn't work last night because I was not doing well at all. Not a good situation for me to be out behind the wheel in. But I did work Thursday night, and that was the coldest night so far that I have ever worked in my life. According to my dashboard, it got down to minus 17. So that's a record for me anyway. But according to my phone, it was down to minus 21. So, but that probably, you know, like Minneapolis airport or something like that. But yeah, that's the coldest I've ever worked in. It felt colder on top of it. It was probably felt closer to like minus 30 because of the wind chill factor. It was very windy that night. Thursday night, it was very, very windy. So yeah, it was pretty chilly. Last night it got down, and that was the thing too. The heater in the car was barely keeping up. It's like I've gone from one extreme where I'm used to dealing with triple digits, where the air conditioning is barely keeping up because, you know, like maybe sitting in the sun, you know, because I used to be a cab driver out there in Vegas. And, yeah, I'd be sitting in one of the cab stands, and either the sun would be beating down right directly on me, or if you do go to a cab stand where it's shady, unfortunately, you're still running in the same situation because the structure that you're sitting up underneath is trapping heat in, so you're basically in the same situation. It's like 115, 117 degrees outside, and the air conditioning can barely keep up. Same situation here, you know, basically a wind chill factor of about 30 below, and I got it all the way up on 85, which is the highest that car will go up to, and then yeah, it's barely keeping up with the cold air. So yeah, it's quite interesting to, you know, with the extremes that I've lived through with that. So. But anyway, yeah, the southeast is supposed to be getting a cold snap, possible snow and so on and so forth. So I know when I used to live in the southeast, it would always be like, oh my gosh, you know, or whatever. Now it's just like, okay, what's the big fucking deal? In many ways, the snow reminds me a lot of the sand that I used to deal with out there, you know, like sandstorms and so forth that I used to deal with all the time out there in Vegas. So, to me, in many ways, it's really no big deal. Only difference is, okay, you know, because I mean, same situation with the temperatures, one extreme to or another. The only difference is here you've got ice. The snow turns into ice. Alright, so anyway, that's what I got for you. I'm going to let you go, and I'll talk at you later. Alright, stay safe. Love you guys.